Hey guys, what's going on? Well, we up in this U-Haul again. And you know what that means? When I got one of these requisitioned, that generally means that I'm on a shopping trip, as Musty likes to say. And that's the case. Somebody just hasn't got the truck ready to go to use their own truck yet. Because it takes some time, and it takes some money, mostly time, and the weather's been awful. So I haven't quite got the truck ready to use as a tow vehicle, but we are working on it. And in the meantime, I went and rented this thing to do my car buying with today. And we're going to rescue, hopefully if everything works out, we're going to go rescue another dormant Mopar. And this was another case of a car that I was not looking for, finding something I was not looking for exactly, because I was scoping out Craigslist. I had a relapse, but that's actually kind of a joke. I was actually on there for a reason. I've been trying to find another car body, like a Dart or a Duster or something like that, a two-door for Phil. We're going to use the stuff that I've got left over, like the slant six out of the 73 Valiant and gas tank and some of that, all that stuff I have sitting around to build him another car. So I've been looking for a car on Craigslist and hadn't had any luck with that. But what happened was, and I'm sorry, this truck is loud, man. I wanted to pick up, but I didn't have one. Out. What happened was, I went looking for an A-body, and I found a 1969 Dart custom sedan. Like, again, that's not what I was looking for, but there it popped up, and it's a car that's been sitting, I think, in a barn or somewhere for like 20 years, hasn't even been driven at all, and it's old, it's weathered, it's got acorns all over it and in it and everything, and you know the story. But I thought, you know what, that would sure be a nice trifecta to have that, because that would give me a Chrysler, a Plymouth, a Dodge, all earlier than 1970, and all three different years, and three different kinds of cars, because they are all, even though the Dart is an A-body, it's a little bit different than the Valiant version, and I'll make a video showing that. But anyway, the main thing that attracted to me is that with the Valiant's a slant six, but the Dart we're going to get is a V8 with air conditioning and power steering. I think it's got power steering. I looked it over yesterday, and I just didn't want to get too involved in looking at its options yet. But I did see it has air conditioning and all that, so it's a, you know, it's a distinctly different version of the same kind of car. So that's neat. That's really neat to me. That's kind of what I was hoping I'd find at some point. I was not prepared to find one this quick, but went out there, struck the deal on it, and it's out here on past Florence, and the shoals out here. So we're gonna go get this thing. Hopefully the guy, I'm not going to do any loading videos, because I find loading videos quite boring. All it is loading the car up on the trailer, so that personally I don't normally do those. And plus it's on somebody's property that I don't know, and I'm not sure that I would be welcome to film anything anyway if I wanted to. That's where they did the truck's exhaust right there, by the way. But I'll probably take some pictures with my cell phone, just where it's sitting. They said it was sitting in a barn, but they got it running several months ago and drove it up to the carport, I think. And like I said, he thinks he can get it running again, but I've came prepared just to winch it up on the trailer, so that's fine, because it's cold out here, and I really don't want to mess with trying to get an old car running, because it's got all the things that they all need. You know, it's got an old gunked up gas tank, and brakes probably out on it and stuff like that. But the main thing about it, and then I'll shut up talking, but the main thing about it that decided me was I got under it and felt it up everywhere that those cars rust, like the floor pans and the trunk floor and everything like that. It appears solid with no rust really. So I can do that. I can handle that. Now, one thing that this car has got wrong with it that you're going to see right away, and it looks like it would be a deal breaker, but it's not for me, because I'm just crazy like this. But somebody years and years and years ago whacked it in the quarter panel, the left rear quarter panel, so it folded up the quarter panel and got the trunk floor on that side a little bit, and the bumper into the bumper. So it's not terrible. This is gonna need a quarter pin on it, and I've never done that. I know nothing about doing that, but I guess I'll have to learn or have somebody do it. But it's gonna need a quarter panel fixed, repaired, replaced, whatever, at least the back part of it. So that's the main what's wrong with it thing and why it's cheap. So that's why nobody was interested in it. I sat and watched this thing on Craigslist for a week, and I mean, I'd already, that's the way I shop for stuff. I look at it. My buddy Jamie up in Tennessee up there was asking me, how I keep finding all these cars, and I was like, well, I just look at stuff, and I just get a feeling for it. I get the vibe off of it. I get my idea about, does this look like a car that's got something, was it worthwhile? Is it a rot box? Because for the money I paid for this thing, there was nothing down here, guys, and really anywhere else. There are no solid A-bodies left at this price. None. This may be, I'm not going to say there won't be another one pop up at some point, but this is probably getting to be the last of the ones that I expect to find. I said that when I bought that Valiant, but they're just not out here. If they are out here, they're still, it's funny because it seems like there's still a lot more pre-1967 A-bodies floating around than there are the later ones. But I haven't seen a 67, 68, 69 Dart for sale in the 80s. So anyway, we're going to do this thing, guys, and I'll probably put it back up on video on either when I'm on my way back or at the house or something along those lines, because I really try to focus on what I'm doing when I'm loading, so I don't really want, like I said, I'm not going to make any videos of that. I'll just take some few pictures and stuff, I guess. But anyway, let's continue on. And don't ask me where we're at. All I can tell you is we're on the far west edge of Alabama. I think the Mississippi border is not more than about 10 miles away from here that way. So we're coming down the back way to these folks' place up here. What the heck? Their place. So I'm coming around this way. I'm going to take the left and come to their house the opposite way that you would normally come, because I think I'm going to have to. This box truck is not that easy to see behind me to back up, so I'm going to try to get in their little yard. They got sitting in a house here, and then they've got a big old house next door that somebody built and abandoned, and there's like a cut through, I think, between the two. So I'm hoping I can get in there and just get the trailer lined up so we can do what we got to do to get there we go, get the thing loaded, because it's nosed in. Alright, let me suss this out. I don't see anybody behind me. It's nosed in here. He's got a that ain't gonna work. Let me see. Whew, boy, that's tight right there. Let's see if possibly. Alright, I think I can probably I can get out right there. Let me see if I can maneuver this truck through here. There it is. Yeah, this house, she told me the story on this house. It is some kind of a, I'll be looking there. Some kind of a deal that there was an old house here, and one of the relatives, that's a little tight. Yeah, we're right there. Make sure don't take the top off this truck. Boy, that's gonna be fun getting out of that driveway. Ugh. All right. Okay. So, got to work with this. All right, that should be. We can back that up if we need to be. Before he gets down here, and I tell him I'm here, and we'll jump out and look at this thing real quick. I'll give you guys a preview. Get that text in real quick. Bear with me. Sit on the dashboard with me. Yeah, look at that place. Ugh. Well, folks, I'll tell you the story. Get off that. He hadn't done the thing to come down there and try to get this thing going. So anyway, sorry about that. So anyway, I don't know what all that's about. They're trying to tear it down, I think, but yeah, I've done this enough. I know kind of how to position this trailer. I might have to back it up a little bit, but I think what we can do is, if or if not this thing will run, then that's that first step. It's a doozy. Then we'll get it backed out on the driveway out here and we can work with it. Quick preview. Okay, we'll put the camera up. See you bye in a minute, in an hour. All right. So we've made it safely home with our latest Mopar rescue project, I guess you could call it. And I tell you what, guys, I'll just be honest about it. I think right now, if someone, that special someone came by and said, I just want to spend time with you this afternoon, anyway, anyhow, any amount of time, or I could choose doing this, looking at this car, I think seriously I'd choose looking at this car. That's how much I just love these old Mopars, these old original cars. And I'm going to show you how original this one is. Now, let me preface that by saying that it is not a perfect car by any means. We see it's got the back end whacked on it, and it's a little rusty and weathered and all that, but it is an excellent base for a preservation project and a cheap driver, and that's what I love. You know, I'm not really a car restorer per se. You know, I do a lot of small stuff within my capabilities, but I don't restore them. I just preserve them and try to improve them and try to enjoy them, and hopefully let other people have a good time along the way also. So first thing I did, I just ran some numbers. I took the air cleaner off, and you know, that's their wings that make that noise, those doves, when they take off. That's not their voice doing that. But anyway, this thing is totally legit. It's 100% nearly original, about 90% original except for wear items, and I'll show you that. But what it is this is a 1969 Dart Custom V8. Custom is the higher trim level. They had in '69 they had just a standard Dart sedan. They had a Dart Custom sedan. They had a Dart Swinger. They had a Dart GT. They had a Dart GTS and stuff like that. So this is a fairly well-equipped V8 Dart. And I'll just say real quick, I just jumped at the chance to buy this car because I thought this was so neat. It's the neatest thing I can think of, to have one that's a 68 that is totally differently equipped than this other car. And so anyway, it is a 69. It has a 273 2-barrel V8 engine in it. That's the smallest LA version they made. This was the last year for those. After 69 they just used the 318 exclusively. It has air conditioning, power steering, has 10-inch drum brakes, manual brakes. It's got some good options on it. We'll look. I've already told you most of it. It's got some things that aren't called out on as part of the custom trim, I guess. But we'll look at that. I noticed it's got just standard 2-speed wipers. If it had various speed wipers, the motor housing would be going this way. It's got, looks like the original voltage regulator, original style master cylinder. It's the right one this time, Howard. It's got all the air conditioning stuff still here. I ran the numbers on this radiator. This is the original radiator, 2949069, comes back to a 69 Dart. And ran the tag on the carburetor. The carburetor number is 4606S with a date code of 239-8. That means that is the 239th day of 1968, which corresponds around its build date of October 29th. Ran the fender tag, and that all matches up. So, of course, we got some cobwebs going here, and that thing's demolished. All the junk here from the critters. This thing's got to be cleaned out, man. I'm taking volunteers. Anybody wants to come down and help me clean it out? Anyway, so this is the original oil breather. Probably the original pipe to it. It's got that ridge on it. You can't hardly get those anymore. It's even got the clamp still on it. And it's got the original tag for the air conditioner. All the air conditioner, as I said, is still there. That's good. It's got dual horns. Now this thing, I don't give this thing a chance for ever working, but this is totally probably the original one. The heater control valve, and I don't know if they can be rebuilt. It's even still got the original clamps, looks like, on it. Something there says made in USA on that line right there, if you can see it. Looks like it had a little oil coming back from something. I don't know what kind of shape this engine is. He said it ran good, but we couldn't, it wouldn't even turn over. The battery's dead. Clamp's still original for that. I guess he didn't like that being metal on metal, but this was an older gentleman that had this car. Well, heck, this thing wasn't going to run anyway because the gas line is disconnected. I guess he'd forgot about that's off. Yeah, this thing, I went over prepared for that. This thing wasn't going to run because it's been a while since he's messed with it. Real nice guy. He had done some work to it. He had cleaned the carburetor out, he said, and put a new battery on it, which that battery, I don't know how long ago this has all been done. It looks like quite a while. You know, Craigslist years and months and weeks are different from real, you know, when you talk about and this is not a criticism of anybody in particular. Like I said, a real nice guy. He's real helpful. Helped me get this thing loaded. So I don't mean that meanly, but you know, it just tends to be a few months, and Craigslist tends to be more like about a year or a year and a half or something like that on any other measure you go by. But I see it's got a round back alternator, but something looks kind of strange here. I don't know if we got a belt that's routed the wrong way. It's got a dual groove pulley on it, but only one belt on it. And this one's different from the Fury, that 383, the way the belts run. It's got, I'm going to say it's probably got the wrong alternator on it because that doesn't look right. That looks like it would run the belts too close, but I have to look further into that. Let's see. The Fury, I mean the 300, it runs the two belts on the air conditioner. This one, yeah, I don't see, no, there's not even a place for a belt right down there to go for another belt. So no, that's somebody's just put the wrong alternator on it. That's too common. I wish people would pay attention to stuff like that, but they don't. That's been done a long time ago, though. Happy birthday, America. Alabama Labor Union, looks like. American Revolution, bicentennial, 1776 to 1976. Well, I'll leave that on there for sure. It's got two new tires on the front of it. He said he got it going, and when he started, before he got it going, he tried to pull it out of the barn, and then the tires disintegrated. So the rears are still got more bias plies. That's the original style of hubcap there on it, and that's a layer one off something else. And the thing is pretty much rot free. Like I said, the floors look good under it. The tail looks good. You know, the windows doesn't even look bad at all. It's been sitting inside a long time in a barn. That. I'm not looking forward to this. It's got the old man trailer hitch on it. The tag went out in May of '98. He said that's the last time they drove it. The bumper's kind of rough. National Auto Association. I wish that sticker would be savable. It says Morris, Tuscumbia, Florence. And I can just about guarantee that's not there no more. That was probably a Dodge dealer. Let's look under this viewfinder's broke on this thing now. He said he worked on this, he put gas in it. Well, the tailpipe is there. I thought the tailpipe was missing, but the muffler's gone. And he said he put gas in it, and it stopped the carburetor up again, he thought. But I can smell it. An old rank gas smell. Ooh. So this side's got some weathering. It's got a little bit of, that might be some repair work. I see it looks like some Bondo right there. I think that old man might not have been a very good driver. You see how the paint's peeling right there? That makes me think this thing was painted over here. Another hubcap. See, brand new tires. Boy, that's good. Good. It's got like a lot of surface rust around the edges because that's where I think the barn was leaking, and that's where it just, got moisture, I guess, on it. But it also has tinted glass. I forgot about that. That was a coat that was on the thing there. Got a hit in the windshield and a bad one right here. That's too bad. So, anyway, we'll take a look on the inside of this thing. It's kind of nasty in here. Chrome's pretty weathered there, but who cares? Now, this thing has some very interesting looking upholstery, and this is not the original upholstery. I think this car has obviously been reupholstered. It's got a kind of a tweed. It's either upholstered or it's got a cover over them. It sure looks like upholstery to me, and I'm fine with it if it's not all funked up. But yeah, something's been in here for sure. This thing's got. This one's got carpet. The other car has. Just a rubber mat in there. It's getting interesting color scheme. It's got black carpet, black side panels, black dashboard, in tan. It's called beige. Doors and door panels and stuff. And something's been up here, eating up there. I see you're making a nest. Hope we're not going to have another musty situation. I don't want to take this headliner out. Look at this dash pad. That's about a $250 dash pad right there. And I'm not saying any of this to say that I'm going to part this car out. Absolutely not. But, I tell people, I say you really need to try to, when you're looking at an old car, you need to try to, look beyond just the surface and see what you actually have. Got a sticker here that says manufacturer certifies to dealers this vehicle upon completion of manufacturer conformed to applicable United States safety standards or public law something. That's something they must have started for 69 because none of the other cars have that. It's got a flasher here, lights, wiper. The gauges are similar too, but somewhat similar to the other car, but they're shaped, the dash is shaped differently in here. It's got that same radio. I wonder if this one will tune. Nope. Same problem the other one has, I think. Nope, there it goes. It's got the air conditioner. This is the one that's got more of a vacuum control in it. It's got the, this car has, like I said, factory. This is factory air conditioning because it's coated for that. It's nasty in here, say that for it. Original key. I don't know what that thing is. Anybody know? They changed, like I think I may have mentioned earlier, but they changed quite a few things for 69. They changed the fender tag codes and the paint designations and changed the key. The action part of it is the same as those cars, but this head is the later style that you all know and love. And there's S&H green stamps in there. God, God, I remember those when I was a kid. We used to collect those. I don't know what that's doing there. It doesn't smell that bad in here, but it has that, it has kind of a, it does have sort of a piss type odor in here, but not overpowering. I think with some airing out and cleaning it, maybe that'll start to go away. Ooh boy. I'm gonna wait before I get into that one. So yeah, I was about to say let's do something fun. This may be fun. Got a trunk key. Needs to be lubricated, doesn't it? This looks like the, how are we doing on time here? Pretty good. This looks like the gas key. I wonder if it works. Holy moly. Just imagine the worst junkyard funk gas smell you can smell is in there. Come on. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, that didn't work too well. There we go. It doesn't much matter anyway because it's junk. I got a filler and I got a tank and all that for this. This is a year, incidentally, this thing hanging out reminded me, this is a year that Chrysler was still messing around with their marker light situation. 67s didn't have any side marker lights. That 68 over there's got, I haven't done either. 68's got those round ones, and that was the first year for those. And then 69's when they got these flush mounted ones which do not light up, there's no bulbs in them. And then 70 got the same style, but they got lights in them. How much money you reckon it costs Chrysler to change all that every year? That's just money. All right, I hope nothing jumps out at us. There's the muffler. Whew. The toe strap. He said they took very good care of this car, and this is what happens when you just take care of it and then you drive it in one day and park it. Let it sit. I don't know why human beings do that, but all right, I'm not courageous enough today to even dig into this. So I'm just gonna kind of take a look here, and looks like he might have been an electrician. I see some, looks like electrical stuff there. My grandfather was an electrician. Wow, yeah, there's some of that old style electrical cable they used in the 50s and 60s. Look at that. Please, guys, tell me why it is that people go to such lengths to avoid fixing an exhaust system correctly. Wow, yeah. Nails. What the heck is that? That old Pepsi can. Yeah. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get an ice scraper. I will risk my hand here and try to pick that out. No, just kidding. My granddad would have done the same thing. Ashley Chevron, Fern Creek, Kentucky. I'll take that in because I found one. I found one in that Plymouth over there too. It's a lot smaller than this, but I love stuff like this because they used to give these out as a complimentary deal when you got a tank of gas. You get a free ice scraper. Wonder what this car was doing in Fern Creek, Kentucky. Well, I know what it's doing there. They probably drove it up there on a trip or something. Oh man, I tell you what, this car just pushes a lot of buttons for me as far as original goes. I love me some original cars, even if they're nasty. Because you know, it's like they said in Christine, the movie, in the book. S-H-I-T wipes off, and all this will too, so hopefully. Alright, one day we'll do this, but not right now. We've got things ahead of us. We're going to try to finish up this Valiant and get it on the road and turn our attention to this car and finish it up because it's going to be warm pretty soon. And we'll come back to this, and we may pick at this a little bit as far as cleaning it up here and there as I got some time. I'm sure I won't be able to resist because it's just the way I am. So I'm going to go get that thing which I absolutely despise driving those things because they drive so badly. But I'm going to get that thing back to the terminal down there in Huntsville and pick my own car up. I'm going to run over to Horrible Freight and pick up a tarp and put over this, because I don't think this car's, I'm sure it has, but I don't know how watertight it is. And the last thing I need is for all that junk in there to get waterlogged. So anyway, all right guys, thank you for joining me in doing what I do here, and just do what we can every time we have an opportunity to get one of these old cars that's been neglected, you know, maybe unintentionally, but it's been forgotten about and nobody really wants, and try to breathe life back into it. So we'll be doing a cold start on this thing, probably do that at some point fairly soon. Shouldn't be any problem. I'll take the carburetor and clean it again, and we'll just plumb the fuel line into the external source and do it to it. All right then, from Rank Gas Central, we will see you all on another video. Thank you so much for joining me and hanging out a little bit. Later on, guys. Bye.